Tonight on Would I Lie to You, National Treasure, Wendy Richard. National Disaster, Russell Howard. And their team captain, the National Trust's David Mitchell. And facing them tonight, the Strictly Come Dancing, Len Goodman. The often trying Vic Reeves. And their team captain is answer-frying Lee Mack. But first, become noticeably excited for your host, Angus Deaton.
Good evening and welcome to Would I Lie to You, where over the next half hour you'll hear some unbelievable truths and some downright lies. I'm delighted to be your host. Will be an obvious example of a downright lie. Yes, it's all about the ability to fool your fellow man. Abraham Lincoln once said you can fool some of the people all of the time, all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. My dear, he also said I'm looking forward to going to the theatre tonight. A word of advice, liars will often touch their nose whilst talking, something to watch out for amongst our cast of A-list celebrities. Which brings us anything but neatly to round one, Home Truths, in which our guests read out a statement about themselves and the opposing team have to guess if it's true or a filthy fib. Guess right, they get a point. Guess wrong, the others get a point. It's as simple as the panellists themselves. Lee's team have first crack, if you'll pardon the expression, and Len it is who kicks off with his first Home Truth. Len?
I imac my armpits.
OK, truth or garbage?
I was next to Len's dressing room and there was a lot of screeching coming. How long does it take you to do?
It's a very, very quick and brief experience, really. You get the bottle.
Yep.
You place it in your hand.
Yep.
You lift it up.
I can see what's happened there.
You then use the applicator provided and peel it off.
I thought, according to the ads, that Imac was a cream, not a liquid.
Yeah, it's a cream. Well, it's in a bottle, isn't it?
No, it's in a tube.
I hate clever, bloody women.
Do you do this for hygiene or
Well, it all started, actually, years ago when I danced a lot more, and we used to rehearse in vests, really. And
Yes.
there's nothing worse, ladies, is there, than to see an arm full of hair and dewdrops and little bits of crustacean all floating around.
There's nothing worse, especially if you're in the pub and one of them comes in, they're standing next to you at the bar, and it's all that. I think it's absolutely vile.
What sort of pubs do you go to?
Do you put your deodorant on immediately after you've...
As soon as I have done the process, I shower, walk into the other bathroom where I keep my other accoutrements.
The other bathroom?
Yeah.
Where you have a manservant pat you down?
And then I have a jolly good squirt of... I do squirt straight away.
Right, well, you cannot put deodorant on immediately after you've used one of those creams. He'd be screaming his head off.
Oh, well deduced.
Well, I think that's a clincher, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
There
Therefore,
we go. No, we reckon that's a lie.
they're saying it's a lie.
There we
Len?
go. Oblivious to pain, the truth.
Really?
Yes, it is true. Len does imac his armpits, and if you want to know where Len's armpit hair ends up, just have a look at Brucey's head. Apparently, when Len puts his arms in the air, it's like Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan getting out of a car together. Our next revelation comes from David.
I used to proofread dictionaries for a living.
OK. Which dictionaries?
They were English dictionaries.
Never mind. Yes, but which one, the OED or the Webster's?
They were dictionaries for learners of English.
Was it laugh a minute?
I have to say, what was weird about it is that because it was so boring, I became a huge hypochondriac during the process. And, you know, it's so dull what you're supposed to be doing that you start thinking, oh, I think there's a bit in my finger, I can feel my little finger, maybe there's something growing in there that's going to kill me. Or I think my left eye, I'm going blind in one eye.
Right.
All right, then, what's the first word in the dictionary and you can't have aardvark?
Well, it's A or A.
You can't have two guesses.
I look at him and he looks, to me, like a dictionary reader.
Oh, thank you very... I might just kill myself now.
A bit like yourself. I've got a feeling there's a hint of truth in that.
Right, OK. And are you thinking, yes, he's telling the truth,
What do
or
you
he's
think,
a filthy lying git?
It's true.
Is it? Is it true?
Yeah, go on.
My team think it's true, so we're going to go with true.
OK,
You're saying that I look like a man who's gone to the depths of tedium and not come back.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I am.
It's true. Yes, it is true. David did proofread dictionaries for a living. Yes, ladies, his middle name is Danger. He claimed it was one of the happiest times of his life, or as he called it, the most felicitous epoch of his existential being. Proofreading is, of course, vital to any piece of writing. Even the scripts on this show are subject to rigorous scrutiny. Russell, surprise us all.
I was a contestant on Junior MasterChef.
Thank you.
Can you cook? Can you cook?
Can I?
Can you? What's the basic ingredients for hollandaise sauce?
For me... I open with a bit of mustard and a bit of... it's just how I make it. I don't invite you round. And a bit of sort of corn flour and a bit of milk, mix it all in, and then what I like to call the special ingredient, like Mama's sauce from Ragu, I'll never tell, and put it over some eggs, and it's lovely.
Liar! 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 You missed out.
That's
vinegar.
what I do.
You missed out lemon.
I don't put lemon in it.
Everyone, a hollandaise sauce is vinegar and lemon and
Have
eggs.
you been on MasterChef?
So, Russell, what was your signature dish?
I did beef Wellington, and I opened with soup, and I had apple crumble for pudding.
You opened with soup.
Yes.
What sort of soup?
Tomato.
I take it you didn't bother with the tomatoes.
Take me through how you made your tomato soup. We've got him here, Lee. He'll say open the tin.
I just put tomatoes in it.
How old were you?
8.
8.
8?
And you were making beef Wellington? Russell, we're not idiots. You weren't making beef Wellington, were you? Junior MasterChef, you'd have been... I've seen Big Cook, Little Cook. You were probably making biscuits in the shape of the moon. Beef Wellington?
Here's a clincher, Lee. Watch this. You put a bit of beef in the oven. How long do you cook it for?
Ages.
So, no, hang on,
He's lying.
Yeah, you liar.
They're saying you're lying.
I'm lying.
He's lying. Well divined. Junior MasterChef was the show that challenged kids to make their favourite meal, but was cancelled after the 3rd series, after every kid made crisp sandwiches with extra ketchup. And lastly, Vic, fess up, if you would.
I once fixed Dame Judi Dench's push bike.
How do you fix it? How do you fix a push bike?
Well, both the wheels fell off. and they were in a ditch at the time. Yeah. She was still on the framework. So I assisted. I was driving on my Robin Reliant. I swerved over into the ditch, pulled out the 2 wheels, said, Judy, forget about it. We had a ball. We went off to a canal, had some egg sandwiches and a bottle of cider, and had a lovely day out. True or false?
Yeah, true. True. Probably true.
So with that kind of plausible backstory...
Yes, suddenly.
It's almost too believable.
Yeah.
Are you allowed? Because it could be true, but just he's now surrounded it with a huge ball of bullshit.
I should warn you, he may be lying.
Where was it you actually met Dame Judy? With her broken bicycle?
Barnes. Just outside Barnes.
She doesn't live near Barnes.
Well, she travels about
She was on
a
her
bit.
bicycle.
She's on a bike.
Right across
riding.
London.
You don't cycle outside your own front door, do you, in a circle? You've got to go somewhere.
It's so believable.
True? False. It's a lie.
He's saying it's a lie. I can't believe that. Vic.
I have to inform you, and it really... It's a lie.
Yes, who would have thought? All of which brings us to the end of this pulsating opening round, with Lee's team having accrued 4 points and David's a meagre 2. And so, like Britney Spears, we move swiftly to the next round. It's called This Is My and is self-explanatory. However, for those who insist on details, each of David's team will claim to have a genuine connection with tonight's special guest person, who we're about to introduce to you. It's up to Lee's team to spot whose connection is genuine. So please welcome this week's special guest person, Morris. Now, Russell, perhaps you'd like to fill us in on how you know Morris.
Absolutely. This is my landlord, Morris. All right, mate. It's not going too well, I'll be honest. But he's actually the 16th Earl of Westmoreland.
Good. So, a landlord who is also the Earl of Westmoreland. David, what's Morris to you?
He's my teacher, and he's training me in the art of ventriloquism for my next acting role.
So, a ventriloquist teacher. And lastly, then, Wendy, what's your connection with Morris?
This is Morris. He's my hairdresser, and he also cuts the hair of Tony Blair.
So there you are. A noble landlord, according to Russell, David's ventriloquist teacher, or a hairdresser to the stars and Tony Blair, if you believe Wendy. Lee.
Russell.
Yes, mate.
Pray tell.
What, me
More of the Earl of Westmoreland.
OK, well, me and Mojo, as I call him, we had a party once up in our flat, and he sort of lives downstairs, and it was quite sort of, you know, crazy. And he came up, and we played Twister, and he lost, and we were all like, ah! And then he went, well, actually, I'm the 16th Earl of Westmoreland. And went like that back at us, so we went, good comeback. Then I served everyone beef Wellington. What a night.
Wendy, may I ask, is he your current hairdresser at this time?
Yes.
Yeah? And whereabouts would his shop be? Is it in the West End of London? Or?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
It's, it's near Baker Street.
Near Baker
Oh,
Street?
right, yeah.
Near Baker Street.
Right, near, yeah, very near Baker
Not
Street.
on Baker Street.
No.
No, just
You wouldn't perchance know the name of the road, I'd guess, at this stage.
No, because, well, you see, I don't drive, and if I'm going around, I tend to walk, so I don't look at street names.
Is it in the underground?
No.
Where the hobbits have their hairstylists.
Does he still do Tony Blair's hair?
Yes.
Right. And do you get any gossip?
No. Morris never repeats gossip.
Right, very discreet.
Yes.
OK.
Sorry, David, could you just remind me of yours again, please?
A ventriloquist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
A ventriloquist.
Which is clearly
And
the
how
right...
many lessons have you had, David? Just approximately, how many lessons?
I've had 3.
Any other questions, Lee?
Yes, I want an example from David, a bit of ventriloquism. After 3 lessons, you should be able to do something far away.
Bloody hell. It's quite embarrassing. My teacher's here.
Yeah.
But OK, sort of... I'll do my best.
All we can ask for.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah.
Getting that thing in my finger. Yeah. OK, so... Hello, how are you? You can't argue.
That's how posh people speak all the time.
Well, why do you think I got
Excuse
the
me.
pass?
Excuse me,
Can't argue with the land
to
of
build an
applause.
extension for me, are you? Are you willing to build an extension? I wouldn't bother moving my lips, I can't.
You're moving them loads!
Doing it, yes,
You're moving them.
but I'm not posh. Am I?
Tell him to off.
Well, you sounded right in just then.
So, Lee, you're thinking it's probably not the ventriloquist teacher?
Oh, no, I'm
then?
thinking it could be. I just think David's not very good at it. I have to say that I'm not going with Wendy's story at all on this, because you've got fantastic hair, and he's clearly a scruff bag.
Yeah, but...
So it's either...
So what
it's
are you-
either the landlord or the ventriloquist.
Or the ventriloquist teacher. What do you think, Vic?
I'm going for the ventriloquist.
Are you going for the ventriloquist as well, then?
Landlord.
Landlord?
Landlord!
The more I look at him, I can see him in a basement.
I'm
your team
actually
captain.
going to overrule you there, Len. I think it's David's ventriloquist teacher.
You say it's David's ventriloquist teacher. Morris, perhaps you'd like to tell us who you really are?
I'm actually Wendy's hairdresser.
Well done to Morris.
And I do cut Tony Blair's hair.
Oh, what's he like?
Very nice.
Is he?
You don't fancy giving him a wet shave occasionally, do you?
I've asked him to, no luck.
What did it, though? You don't even know where his shop is.
More importantly, what have you been doing in my flat?
Morris, thank you very much indeed. Well done. And many thanks to Morris Miller. Managed to completely outwit Lee's team by standing still and saying nothing. It's that simple. So Morris is obviously a man who knows a thing or two about temptation. Stood behind Tony Blair with a pair of sharp scissors. I'm sure he indulges in the same idle chit-chat. Sending the troops anywhere nice this year? So, at the end of that round, a quick look at the scores shows it's David's team who is steaming ahead, leading as they are 6-4. And so to the round widely regarded as Telly Tales, each member of one team will follow up a clip from a much-loved TV show with a riveting piece of information relating to it. All their opponents have to do is to work out whether that statement is truth or tosh. Tonight, we're proud to feature the Eurovision Song Contest, a fabulous and flamboyant festival of musical culture, or if you're not gay, a 2-hour lake of shite. So Lee is first up with a fact about this 1980 Luxembourg entry, Papa Penguin. OK, that was the spectacular Papa Penguin in 1980, but Lee has an even more extraordinary fact. Lee.
Yes, now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, fine, that was probably, well, definitely the only animal that was featured that year in the Eurovision Song Contest. Well, stop your horses and get off, because I've got a fact. The Swedish entry that year also had a real live orangutan as their dancer.
So what are you thinking?
Well, I just think, can you imagine how pissed off the poor Luxembourg team were going to be? We thought we'd nailed it this year with this man who looks almost exactly like a penguin. I mean, if you look very carefully, you can tell that it's maybe another seabird.
Yeah, but what about the welfare of the orangutan being made to be distressed in a programme that nobody really watches?
I don't know whether the orangutan would be more upset being in Eurovision than in a better programme. I think there's a chance that an orangutan might find even being in something excellent like The Office quite a distressing experience, because he's not going to get it. Very few orangutans understand the structure of a script.
I think their critical faculties are almost nil.
Yeah, he wouldn't get Terry Wogan's irony. So...
Well, you'd be surprised, David. You'd be surprised.
The question we have to ask ourselves, then, is how cruel are the Swedes? Are they...
We should put that into Google.
Are they a cruel people? I think if they got an orangutan, wouldn't it would totally freak out and either go mental and smash up some sound equipment.
Well, that'd be great. Maybe that was it. It just got a guitar and started smashing it.
Maybe they said, we don't need to write a song, we'll just see what the monkey does.
Well, that's how Ginger Spice started. You're probably taking the whole... When I said they were dancing, you're probably, in your head, you're thinking like a routine here, It simply, his job was to just, it was obviously caged, so it was in a cage.
It was caged? That's rubbish.
What do you mean it's rubbish?
I had, like, a pole. I had an image of it doing like that.
Sweden, actually, they're usually among the more competent entries to Eurovision, aren't they? I mean,
they have
ABBA,
won it in the past, I think.
Yeah, ABBA, they're Swedish.
They're Swedish.
I am quite into music.
They wouldn't have needed a gimmick like that.
Exactly, they wouldn't have needed a gimmick like that.
I think true. I want it to be true.
Well, I wanted Father Christmas to be true. I still do. What do you think, Wendy?
You think?
I think not.
I think not.
OK, well, that's what you're saying. Let's find out if you're right. Did Sweden ever have a orangutan in their band? Lee?
Well, actually, it was a lie.
Well done. It is a lie. Sweden did not have a live orangutan in their band. He left due to musical differences. They wanted to do an up-tempo power pop number, whereas he wanted a banana. In fact, to this day, the hairiest thing to actually enter Eurovision was Dana International. So, Len is next. Here's the Finnish entry from 1976, the majestically titled Pump Pump. So, at long last, the answer there to the question, whatever happened to Demis Roussos? That guy ate him. That was Pump Pump, anyway, by Freddie and the Friends. But what is Len's additional piece of priceless trivia? Len?
That was the Eurovision entry from Finland there, and my fact is that on the 27th of July in Finland, they celebrate Sleepyhead Day, when the last member of the family that awakes is taken down to the sea and thrown in.
Well, the question you're asking is,
Yes.
would the same nation that produced that giant man and those girls be the location for a frenzy of splashes?
That's pretty much the connection between...
So where does Sleepyhead Day come from then, Len?
Well, it dates back to the Middle Ages, where evidently 7 Christians slept in a cave for 200 years. And so they came up with this sleepyhead. And I can actually tell you the Finnish for that is unikapaka. Unikapaka.
Where we get the Knickerbocker glory from.
Yes.
Originally, it was packed with sedatives. What do you think?
It does sound like one of those daft things that they would do.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah. We used to have a pram race in our village, so it's conceivable.
People chase cheeses in Wales, don't they?
Yeah.
And the first person to get to the cheese, I don't know, gets the cheese. So I think this is true.
OK, Len, truth or garbage?
Funnily enough, it's true.
Yeah.
Yes. Len, we're telling the truth. July the 27th is indeed National Sleepyhead Day in Finland, where the last person in the house to wake up is traditionally thrown in the nearest lake or sea. And July the 28th is, of course, National Granny's Body Washes Up on the Shore Day. So at the end of that round, it's Lee's team who are what's commonly known as last, trailing as they do 9-4. And so to our final quickfire round, featuring some more home truths, but this time against the clock. A random flashing light will select which of our panellists has to dish more dirt about themselves, the eternal question, as ever, being, are they to be believed or are they a lying toe rag? It's David's team who are in the lead, so Lee's team needs all the points they can get, starting now. Wendy.
I have no idea how to use a laundrette washing machine.
How long have you stood in the laundrette?
22 years.
So you don't know how to use one. Hazard a guess. How would you think that you do it?
Well, what threw me is the coins
They are tricky.
and...
Are you saying you've never been into a laundrette?
I have been into the laundrette. No, I didn't know how to work the machine.
You know, William Shatner can't really fly a starship.
I know. Look, Lee, she's caught us out with her genius acting before.
Yes. I would guess that you are actually telling the truth.
OK, Wendy.
Yes, I am.
It is true. Next. Lee.
My parents told me my dog was dead, when in actual fact, he was in Scunthorpe. Oh, yeah, laugh it up now.
Why was the dog in Scunthorpe?
Well, because my parents decided to give him away and didn't want to tell me that. And so they gave him to somebody who lived in Scunthorpe, a relative.
And where did you live?
We lived in the northwest of England. I'm not going to give you the exact location due to the fact that I've got many fans.
That is a lie, by the way. What happened when you went to visit your relative that had the dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was a distant relative, so we didn't have to see them that much.
I think could well be true. You don't believe it?
I don't.
OK, we go with a lie.
OK, Lee, put us out of our misery.
It wasn't out of its misery, of course. It was in Scunthorpe. It's actually true.
It's true. Next, David.
As a teenager, I had a poster of Margaret Thatcher on my bedroom wall.
I totally believe you've still got a picture of Margaret Thatcher on your wall. David, describe to me in detail the picture, please.
Well, she was in a sort of blue suit.
Yeah.
True.
And I think it was sometime during the election. It looked like when she was sort of going along a crowd of people. Who liked
Did you
her.
have other great Tories on your wall as well? Other pictures of?
Well, Pitt the Younger, obviously. I still got him up there.
Right. Lee, what's your answer?
I'm gonna have to confer now. What do you think, Vic?
True, my love, true.
What do you say?
I think it's true. I think you're both wrong, and I think it's a lie.
Yes.
It is a lie.
Well done, Captain.
Can I just say thank you? Thank you for not believing that. You know.
Yes, David did not have a poster of Margaret Thatcher on his bedroom wall. He could see her quite well enough through his night vision binoculars. Next, Len.
I killed a falcon while playing golf.
Wow. Did you kill the bird with the ball or with the club?
Yeah, with the ball.
You're not saying,
you find
get
out what
off
sort of
my
falcon it
tee.
was?
Did you get into trouble for having killed this
No,
falcon?
I did not.
This isn't true, I don't think. It's not like it's just a wren. I mean, you'd taken a wren out with it, definitely, although a wren would be harder to hit. But then you weren't aiming. So, I don't think it's true. Do you think it's true? No.
False.
No, it's a lie.
OK, they're saying it's a lie.
Well, to be honest, it's completely true.
This is true. Len did hit a falcon whilst playing golf. The falcon is regarded as one of the fastest animals in the world, or as Len would say, not fast enough, my friend. Next, Vic.
I once helped TV's Dr. Raj Prasad fix his computer. It just needed a reboot. I'm sorry, I have to... first, I can't read this question right because I don't know who Dr. Raj Prasad is. Right. And I don't know what a reboot is.
I mean, it does seem like a lie.
Yeah, you're quite right, it's a lie.
Extreme. It's a lie. Vic has never helped Dr. Raj Prasad fix his computer. In fact, Vic knows about as much about computers as the PC World Helpline. Which irritating horn-like sound means at the end of our final round, tonight's runaway winners are David's team, having trounced Lee's team by 11 points to 9. So, congratulations to David's team and our deep and sincere sympathies to Lee's team. Yep, another lie. Join us next week for more of the same, and always remember that according to psychologists, a person who is lying will avoid making direct eye contact, which explains how David Blunkett got away with it for so long. Good night.
Would I Lie to You next Saturday is at 10 o'clock here on BBC One. Edge of the Seat film drama coming up tonight. Al Pacino and Robin Williams star in Insomnia after the news. Next.